game. And it all started with my mentor, Prof. Tim Noakes, in 2014. And he knew my passion was about cricket, and he approached me. We had a meeting, and he said, look, he has this project that he wants to chat about. But the short story of it all is he co-authored a book with the late Bob Ulmer. And in their book, there's a passage within the book called The Great Debate. And that talks about the backlift. And they were wanting to unravel that question around the backlift in cricket. And it also stemmed from the work that was done by Tony Shillinglaw, where he wrote a book on Bradman Revisited. So it was largely inspired by the art and science of cricket, but it was also partly inspired by the legend himself, Don Bradman. Because how was a man such of this caliber, how was he able to achieve an average of more than 99% and have an unconventional backlift in the time where traditional practices were at its peak? So we really need to investigate what was so great about the caliber of this individual. And so that's where the question around the biomechanics of the backlift had started. And so the first initial activity and task that I had to do was not just to look at Bradman itself, because we know now in the science, if you're only looking at one person, you're then going to be achieving something which is known as a 1-point extrapolation. And you can't really look at someone and then feel that it's textbook based for everyone. So I had to do in my first paper, look at the history of the greatest cricketers from 1895 till 2014. And this was about 6-7 years ago. And we had found that a lot of those guys who were successful ended up using a backlift that was not in alignment to what the coaching manuals said at that time, which was to lift your bat straight up over the wicket. And especially with the closed face of the bat. And I'll talk about that a bit later. And we needed to ask, well, why were they so successful? But they were unconsciously following their own practices by not actually it being aligned to the coaching manuals, and in particularly the MCC coaching book that was published after 1950. So that's what propagated this entire research question, was around the backlifting cricket.